ladies. Thank you so much for coming to my YouTube channel, Angela Simpson Functional Medicine. And for those of you that don't know me, my name is Angela, and I'm a healthcare professional. I've been working in the field of women's health for over 20 years, and I have an absolute passion for helping women learn how to rebalance their hormones naturally. And if you're a female over the age of 35, in your 40s, 50s, possibly even beyond, and you're starting to notice some imbalanced hormone symptoms, such as imbalanced moods, from one extreme to the other. You might feel low 1 minute, not motivated, hard to get out of bed, get things done. You might find you're dragging yourself through work every day. You also have low energy, brain fog. You just feel like you can't focus and concentrate and get things done in your everyday life. And you may also be noticing it's affecting your relationships at home, your personal relationships. Maybe you're not feeling as connected with others because you're just not feeling like your best self. Might be affecting your intimacy. You may have lower libido, inability to orgasm. There's so many things that can change for females as the hormones shift as you get closer to and transition into menopause. So let's face it, there's some things that we need to do if we want to feel like our best selves. We can't just kind of ride the wave and hope that things get better, because often they won't, and often they'll get worse. This is what I've seen both personally for myself. I know that if I don't take care of myself, take care of my body as I'm in this transitional time of life, that I don't feel like my best self. And I really can't get the things done that I want to just in my everyday life, never mind things beyond that. And you probably also have, obligations. I'm sure you have obligations at work. You may have a family, you may have extended family. There's things that are coming at us left, right, and center every single day of our lives. So if we're not feeling like we can cope and manage, and our hormones feel like they're all over the place, they're up, they're down, we're anxious 1 minute, depressed the next, happy, sad, we really just don't know what's going to come. We feel like we're almost out of control with our symptoms. We need a solution. And so I want to let you know that there is no quick fix to getting the balance back in your bodies if you are feeling some of these symptoms or most of them as you approach and transition into menopause. There is things that we do need to do and be diligent with, probably now more so than ever. You may have been able to get away with more things in regards to your health in your 20s, early to mid 30s, whereas you're not going to get away with them as easily in your 40s, 50s, and beyond. You're going to become more symptomatic. Part of it has to do with the changing hormone levels, but a lot of it actually has more to do with the basic lifestyle principles that we, again, may not have been following through with as well as we should have been. And it's actually starting to catch up to us now, especially as the hormones shift, because there are some symptoms that go along with that as well. So what do we do about this? It can feel quite overwhelming. It can feel like we just don't know how to find a solution for ourselves. We can Google it. We can try and, ask different practitioners. Often people that I work with, I find they've bounced around from practitioner to practitioner trying to get answers, work on things on their own, and really just kind of fall off and really never get to where they want to get to because it seems too hard. So what I want to let you know is it can be simple. It isn't that hard. It's just you need some support. You need some ways to be accountable. You need some ways to check in with someone, at least someone, but ideally more than one person that may be going through some of the same things as you. And that's actually going to help you stay on track with some of the basic lifestyle principles that can really start to get you feeling more balanced with your mood, a little more energetic, more motivated, less foggy in the brain, more focused, and just a little more vibrant with your life. And, the ideal too is that you feel like your best self so you're able to connect more, especially with your close loved ones. You're able to connect intimately with your partner if you have a partner, or if you want to connect intimately with someone. You don't want to feel like you're just so out of balance that you don't even desire this. And I know many women I talk to, they say, I don't even feel like, having that sort of feeling towards someone, even my partner, my husband, someone that I love and care for. I'm just not feeling good in my own self. So I don't feel, like I want to, have intercourse or, have that closeness, have that type of connection, and it really is important for us to have this connection as human beings. So the idea is not just to force that, but it's to figure out how can you get your body back in balance so that you feel that desire again for someone else and you want to connect intimately and closely. This is really good actually for our hormone balance of our mood. There's lots of positive chemicals that are released in our body when we are intimately connected with someone. So we need to really understand that this is a health issue if we're not able to feel like we want to connect in that way. So again, back to what can we do? What is the solution to these symptoms, the feelings, the overwhelm of not really knowing where to start? Really important that you work with someone that knows what they're doing, that's been through it themselves, and also that can help provide some guidance to you so that you have the tools to follow through on your own long term. So again, it's important that you work with someone like myself, a practitioner that has lots of experience professionally, but also has been through these challenges that you're experiencing personally. And I've also worked with many, many, many women that have these same challenges you're experiencing, if it's some of the things I just explained, and they're able to overcome a lot of these things and get the balance back and feel like they're able to manage it long term. So the key I find is that most women just need to first understand what's really going on in their bodies. Many women don't know what's going on. They just know how they feel. And when you know what's going on, it's a lot easier to take action on the steps that need to happen. So that's the first step. And again, you do need to work with a practitioner to uncover this. It's really hard to just discover it on your own. You're going to bounce around from idea to idea, possibly practitioner to practitioner. You may be getting different kinds of labs with no real answers because it's not all being pulled together to understand the whole body as a unit. So, it's important that you get this information. That's the first step. And then the next step is to know that it's hard to do it alone. You need some support, and also that you do need to actually take charge of your life. So this is hard sometimes too. If you're not feeling like your best self, it's hard to take charge of your life. I know that, it can become a real cycle when you're not feeling well. You do less and less for yourself, even though it is a time when you should be doing more and more. So you really do need to decide on yourself that now is the time to take action. And if you continue to feel this way and have these symptoms and they get worse, it's also a sign that you are potentially at risk for not just the development of more and more symptoms, but there are risks for the development of chronic conditions and diseases. And those risks go up as we get into our 40s and especially our 50s as females. So we have to be mindful of this. We're at higher risk for certain female cancers. We're at higher risk for heart disease. We're definitely at more risk for hormone imbalances that are creating mood imbalances, and these can become more and more severe. So we want to make sure that we are addressing what we need to, knowing that it's time now to take action, not later, but now. Working with someone who can understand you, understand how to explain what's going on in your body, do the proper lab testing. So I find that is the key for most women that I work with. Once we do the proper lab testing, we put it all together, and you really understand the root cause of what's actually causing all of those symptoms continuously, because it just feels like a laundry list and you just don't know where to start. It becomes so much easier to put a plan into action. So you do need an individualized plan. You can't just work on diet, work on exercise, work on little things and hope for the best. You need an overall whole body plan. You need something customized, individualized, based on the proper lab testing for things that are going on in your body. And then you need someone to help you put it into place. So again, if you do think this is you and you feel like, I do need this, I really do need to take action on my health. I'm scared. I don't know if this is the right move for me or not. It's fair. I know it is hard to move into a space where we're deciding to take care of ourselves more sometimes. I find for females, that's harder than males. We're the taker-carers, if you will, of everyone else. And often we're last. Right? But there comes a time where you really do need to step into yourself and say, I'm first now. And if you say, I'm first later, I've got this. I know I do talk to many women on individual calls because I do have free complimentary calls. And they say, yeah, in the new year, I'm going to be more ready. Or I've just got to get this thing out with my sales and then I'm going to take charge. Or I'm doing a few vacations. I don't see how I can do this right now. I'm going to do it later. And what I found typically is I never hear from people again. Later means never. Right? So there's always an excuse. There's always a reason to not take charge of our health. The problem is if you don't deal with the symptoms and they just continue to aggravate you and get worse, you're at higher and higher risk for a chronic condition or disease to develop the longer you put things off. And you will get to a point where the body will tell you can't put things off anymore. You have to deal with it now. So, why not do it now instead of waiting until that point? I do work with some women that definitely do wait till that point. It doesn't mean that you can't get better, but it does mean that it's more challenging once the systems of the body get more and more compromised over time. So, it is important for you to take charge of your health. It is important for you to prioritize yourself. It doesn't matter if work and life and everything else is busy. It's always going to be. And I know that from myself. I can put things off for years and years. I could say, well, once my kids are out of the house, then I can really take charge of my life, my business, the things that I want to do to focus on myself. But the reality is my health's not going to wait for that. I've got to take charge of it now. I'm going to take charge of what I need to do now, and likely so do you. So don't wait for that point. Don't wait until things get so bad that the body has no choice but for you to deal with things. If you're symptomatic now, that's a great time for you to interject on the body and the systems of the body before things get worse. And it's a lot easier to reverse some of the potential damage that's already been done and really help you develop a plan to heal and balance your body for the long term. We're going into the second half of our life here. If you're in your 40s or 50s. So do you want to age gracefully? Or do you want to have, symptoms cropping up one after the next and then feel like you're bouncing around to different practitioners, different specialists, trying to get answers, procedures, all these kind of things done. And you're spending half the time that you would like to be doing other things, doing that, and so that is often a reality that we have to face. And I also do feel that it's important to speak about, healthcare, right? And so there is a difference between healthcare and health optimization. And healthcare is something we need to access when we're unwell. Whereas health optimization and optimizing our wellness is something we can do to prevent that need for health care down the line. Now, we're all going to need some health care as we get older, but do we need it in our 40s or 50s? Or can we put that off until we get into our 80s, 90s, or beyond? That's the ideal, and we can live our best life for the next 20, 30 years plus. So, if this sounds like you are at this point, if you're feeling like you have a lot of hormonal symptoms, you are equating it to the time in your life of the hormones shifting and changing, your moods are imbalanced, you have brain fog, motivation issues, you're feeling like you're gaining weight around that midline, that spare tire, no matter what you do, it's hard to take it off. You take it off, it comes on pretty quickly again, as if you just fall off the lifestyle track for, a few days, then you probably need to take action now. It's a sign, it's a signal to your body signaling you and telling you that something's out of balance, something's already wrong, and it's going to get more wrong the longer you let it go. You may be in the phases of developing an autoimmune condition if you don't have one yet. You may have one, but you don't actually know you have it, even though you're having all these symptoms. So, again, the proof is in the lab testing. And so that's why I do what I do. In my practice before, I never used to do any lab testing. I didn't have the tools to do that. And now I've found that the lab testing is a game changer, because once you understand what's going on in your body, it's just so much easier to actually heal and get a plan that's individualized for long-term success. You're not just guessing, you're not just trying things, you're not just hoping for the best, because you are going and doing some proactive work with practitioners. You really have a roadmap for how to develop long-term success. So that's what I work with when I work with women just like you. And I am you. I am in the same age group as you. I have some of the same concerns. So I know what it feels like in many, many ways to have the symptoms you're struggling with. So again, if you do feel like you are ready to take action, or you need to, but you're a bit scared, I hear you. I understand. I've also been in that position before, but the power really comes in yourself once you understand what's going on in your body. It really helps you to learn how to take charge of what you need to move into the next phase of your life with more optimal wellness, more vibrance, and more feeling like your best self, or even better than you've felt in many, many years. You actually can feel better in the next 10, 20 years of your life than you have even in the past 10. If you understand what's going on in your body and how to get the balance. So I hope that helps you. And again, if you want to connect with me, you can always reach out to me. So there's different ways. You can go to my website at www.angelasimpsonfunctionalmedicine.ca. And there is a place there to book a free/complimentary consult, 30 to 45 minutes long. So it gives us lots of time to talk about your current health, where you're at, where you want to get to, potentially what you've tried, what's worked, what hasn't. I can let you know what I can do to help you, and we can see if it's a match to potentially work together. You also can go to that same website, and you can go through and look at some of my blog posts. And there's a title to all of them, and you can see if there's some of them there that resonate with you. And it's really useful sometimes just to gather some information to understand how I work with people, how I gain the knowledge to understand what to do to help you. It sometimes helps you to know if that might be a good fit by doing it that way as well. And again, on my YouTube channel here, I've got tons of videos. So again, you can go through, scroll through, and see if there's something that resonates with you. And if you think it may be a good fit potentially, then the best thing to do is to book a call with me. Also, if you haven't done it already, I highly recommend that you join my Facebook group, Functional Medicine for Hormone Imbalances. It's a group that's specific for females between the ages of 35 and 55, or just outside of either of those age ranges, to really help you learn how to understand the root cause of your imbalances in your body and how you can start to rebalance your hormones naturally. So again, thanks for being here. Thanks for being part of my YouTube channel. I always just want to make sure that I am bringing you relevant content. There's going to be more and more of it coming. We're going to get more specific. But this is a bit more of just an overview or a catch up for people that maybe haven't seen me for a while, just to remember what I do, why I do it, and the passion that I have to learn how to help you feel like your best self as you age as a female. I know the things that come up. I've seen them time and time again in my practice over the years, and I know there is a solution for basically everything you're feeling. The goal is to actually give you the power to feel like you can develop an individualized plan for long-term success. So that's my goal with working with you. And again, if you feel like that resonates, feel free to reach out to me. So thanks again, and we'll be in touch. I hope you will stay tuned for more videos and more information either on my Facebook group or on my website in regards to how I could potentially help you rebalance your hormones naturally. All right, take care. Bye for now.